In the heart of a bustling city, where the air was thick with ambition and exhaustion, a man stood by his window, gazing at the distant forest. The gray buildings and weary faces around him mirrored his inner turmoil. He felt trapped in a world of artificiality and corruption, longing for something pure. Rousseau's words echoed in his mind, urging him to seek truth in nature. The forest called to him, a beacon of freedom amidst the chaos. With a heart heavy yet resolute, the man made his decision. On a wooden desk lay a map of the forest, a packed bag, and a letter. He lit a match and watched as the flames consumed his city coat, a symbol of his old life. The fire crackled, consuming not just fabric, but the chains of societal expectations. He was ready to leave behind the artificial world and embrace the purity of nature. Inspired by Rousseau's call to return to a simpler existence, the man walked along a dirt road, the city fading into the distance. Fields stretched out on either side, and the faint outline of a forest beckoned in the distance. With a walking stick in hand, he moved forward, each step taking him further from the noise and closer to the silence of nature. The journey was solitary, yet it felt like the first breath of fresh air after years of suffocation. He was leaving behind the known, stepping into the unknown with hope and trepidation. At the edge of the forest, the man paused. The trees stood tall and ancient, their leaves whispering secrets of a world untouched by civilization. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the ground. He took a deep breath, the scent of earth and foliage filling his lungs. For a moment, he hesitated, the unknown stretching before him. Then, with a determined step, he crossed the threshold, leaving behind the world he knew and stepping into the embrace of nature. The forest was both beautiful and unforgiving. The man worked tirelessly, building a shelter from fallen branches, gathering firewood and foraging for food. His hands blistered and his body ached, but he persevered. The wilderness tested his resolve, teaching him humility and resilience. Each day brought new challenges, but also a deeper connection to the natural world. He was no longer a spectator, but a participant in the intricate dance of life and survival. As days turned into weeks, the man began to find peace. He sat by a clear stream, the water murmuring softly as it flowed over smooth stones. Birds sang in the trees, and a deer approached cautiously, its eyes meeting his with curiosity. The forest was no longer a place of struggle, but a sanctuary. He felt a profound harmony, a connection to the rhythms of nature that he had never known in the city. Here, he was not an outsider, but a part of something greater. Under the shelter of a great oak tree, the man sat by a crackling campfire, journal in hand. He wrote of his past life, the mistakes he had made, and the lessons he had learned. The forest had become his teacher, showing him the simplicity and beauty of existence. As he wrote, he felt a deep sense of gratitude and clarity. The firelight danced on the pages, illuminating not just his words, but his transformation. He was no longer the man he had been, but a man reborn. One evening, the man met another wanderer, a hermit who had also abandoned civilization. They sat by the fire, sharing stories of their journeys. The hermit spoke of the lessons he had learned from the forest, of the importance of simplicity and humility. Their conversation was profound, a meeting of kindred spirits. The man realized that he was not alone in his quest for truth and connection. The forest had brought them together, weaving their paths into a shared tapestry of understanding. A violent storm swept through the forest, testing the man's resolve. The wind howled and rain lashed against his shelter. He huddled inside, the forest both dangerous and protective. In the darkness, he questioned his decision, his mind filled with doubt. But as the storm raged on, he found a quiet strength within himself. The forest had taught him resilience, and he knew he would endure. When the storm passed, he emerged stronger, his bond with nature deeper than ever. At dawn, the man stood on a hill overlooking the forest. The sun rose behind him, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson. The forest stretched out before him, vibrant and alive. He felt a deep sense of peace, knowing he had found his true home. The city was a distant memory, a place he no longer belonged. Here, in the embrace of nature, he had discovered his purpose. The forest had healed him, and he would forever be a part of its eternal rhythm.